Alright guys, it's Bulldog back with another video for this Grievous team. And I know I've done a lot, but I'm still getting a lot of questions. And I want to address the most popular question that I'm getting. And that is, does this team really need all of its Zetas? So the ones that we're looking at that people are trying to avoid are the second Zeta on T3 and the Zeta on Imperial Probe Droid. You don't need the Zeta on 88's lead, but all of the others are actually pretty important, and I'm going to show you why here. So on my previous video, I was using footage provided to me by other players, and this time I went out to build this team for myself on my previous account, and I filmed what was happening as I was building this team and didn't quite have all the Zetas. And I found out for myself that you really do need these. They are very important, and I'm going to show you exactly why here. So we're going to cut in. This is a battle without the Zeta on T3, and I'm going to show you the difference that it makes. So 93,000 damage with, we've got, let's say, I believe 19 debuffs out here. And that's important because the damage done, the critical damage will scale based on the number of debuffs thanks to T3's unique. So we're going to try and keep that consistent here. 19 debuffs, not enough damage to get through. And you've got to take Bastille Fallen out with that opening hit. That is absolutely huge. So here we've not only added the Zeta to T3, but we've also added the Gear 12 Plus piece that increases armor penetration for T3, which you will then share with the rest of the droids. So that's an important piece as well. And again, we've got exactly 19 debuffs, so everything's the same here. You're going to see 117,000, big difference, an extra, what, 25,000 damage or so. And once you get Bastille Fallen out, the rest of it, it's very easy. You've stacked up enough damage at this point, you're going to take out Malak, going to take out the rest. So very easy there. But you can see that there's a big damage increase with that second Zeta. So I'll show another example here. This time we've got 22 debuffs out there, 100,000. Again, just not enough damage. We switch over to, again, that Gear 12 plus piece, and plus the Zeta on T3. We've actually got 23 debuffs here instead of 22, but it's still very similar, 131,000. So you've got about 30,000 damage increase. It's a very big deal. If you're going to take out these top Malak squads, Gear 13, you need those extra Zetas. And then this is back to actually the video that we started out for, but I'm going to show you why the Imperial Probe Droid Zeta is also very important here. And it has to do with the turn order. So if you don't have the Zeta, you have to have Imperial Probe Droid going before Grievous, the last of the other droids, in order to clear that debuff or clear the buff, specifically taunt, off of Malak, who's going to get taunt with the critical AoEs that we're throwing around. And the problem with that is we don't get to use him first. So if you've got that Zeta, you can use him. I say first attacker. You've got BB-8 going first, but you can use him to clear this foresight off of Darth Revan and Bastille Fallen. And that's going to allow us to land more debuffs and get a little bit of extra damage in there as well. So we'll see here. There we go. Remove those debuffs. And now what the Zeta does is as long as anybody has target lock, they can't gain buffs. So Malak cannot gain taunt now. And we've got 3 different sources of target lock. So it's very unlikely that Malak is going to resist all of those 3 different times, unless they just have you outmodded when we're comparing potency to tenacity. So you do have to be careful if you're going up against a very high tenacity Malak that you've appropriately modded for potency to balance it out. But anyway, so then we're going to get all of these debuff those can be resisted. Actually, no, they can't. They cannot be resisted because of that target lock. So you're going to get not only all of these debuffs. So we've got 30 debuffs out there, but we've also done a little bit of damage to Bastille Fallen as well. So that can kind of chip into some of those heavier Bastille Fallens. I know before I got that Zeta, I struggled against a few that were modded for defense because you just couldn't get enough damage going through that. So now you get more debuffs, which allows Grievous to do more damage. And remember, 88's getting this critical damage boost as well. So he does a nice little chunk there with his AoE to kind of get the damage started. And now we're going to get big time damage here. 164,000. So do you have to have those Zetas? If you're going against maybe some Gear 12 teams, some weaker teams, you don't necessarily have to. But if you want to beat the very best Gear 13 teams with this squad, you do need those Zetas, unfortunately. I know that's not what people want to hear, because especially if you're in a Zeta crunch, you really want to save those and use them elsewhere. But if you want this team to be a reliable counter in Grand Arena, you are going to have to put those Zetas on, unfortunately. So thank you very much for watching again, and go kill some Malaks.